Okay. Now, let me finish up. Now, the Supreme Court in 2008 said D.C. citizens should be allowed to have a handgun, and they can't be forced to have their guns locked up. Okay, that means when a home invader wants to break into a house in D.C. now, before 2008, the home invader, the criminal, knew the victim was helpless. Now the home invader knows that there's a chance the victim might have a handgun or a long gun ready at all times. Chicago, even though the Supreme Court overturned the handgun ban, Chicago had their own handgun ban in effect, and they still kept it in effect even after the Supreme Court. So citizens of Chicago went to the Supreme Court and asked the same exact question as citizens of D.C. asked 2 years earlier. And the response from the Supreme Court was the same. Yes, you can have a handgun. Criminals can't have guns, and it says that in the opinion. It says the Second Amendment is not unlimited. Criminals don't have a right to bear arms. Mentally ill don't have a right to bear arms. Suicidal people, etc., etc. But a law-abiding citizen has a right to bear arms. That is in the opinion of the Supreme Court. Okay? And I will, it's going to be hard to see it on camera, but I have the textbook, and you can look it up. Okay? You can look it up. In fact, I'm going to look for the textbook when I get a few minutes, and at the end segment, I'm going to mention the textbook and the page number, so you can look it up. Okay? And the fear-mongers, remember the fear-mongering video we did? The fear-mongers in D.C. and Chicago said, now that guns are legal, now that handguns are legal, crime is going to go up. I think it was the mayor of Chicago, I could be mistaken about that, but I heard someone from Chicago say, now that the Supreme Court has made the mistake of legalizing handguns, people are going to settle their problems in the streets. It'll be like the Old West again. Here's the statistic I saw in Chicago. Okay? The statistic I saw, and if it's wrong, I'll apologize now. The statistic I saw showed that Chicago had twice as many violent crimes as Los Angeles and 3 times as many violent crimes as New York City. So apparently, people in Chicago were already settling their problems in the street. The Second Amendment does not include criminals. It includes law-abiding citizens. Therefore, Chicago citizens now have a right to keep a handgun on hand so that they can defend themselves from a criminal attack, from a criminal who's not paying attention to the law. On top of that, if you have a disabled arm or one hand or one arm, okay, could you physically wield a shotgun or a rifle? I don't think you could. Maybe in a relaxed setting with a shooting rest, you could with one arm, but under pressure, standing up, you can't. You further can't assemble it or unlock it under pressure. So, the ban against handguns discriminated against the elderly and the disabled, and don't tell me it didn't. Semi-automatic ban. Someone, I forget their name, but out of respect, I would not say their name. Someone said that we should ban all semi-automatic weapons, and they mentioned several other countries, like in Europe, England and stuff like that. Okay? We should ban all semi-automatic weapons, look at England. Okay? That's like saying we should ban lifeboats, look at the Titanic. Alright? Okay. Here is a semi-automatic weapon. This is an example of one. I showed it a million times already. This weapon fires one bullet at a time. In fact, the weapon that's on semi-automatic is used by police, corrections officers in the towers, and a lot of armed citizens choose this weapon for home defense. That's their choice. It is what it is. They're allowed to. They did their background investigation. They did their training. Leave them alone. These are non-semi-automatic weapons. This is the bolt. This is the pump-action shotgun. In order for me to operate this shotgun, I have to rack the pump, pull the trigger, rack the pump, pull the trigger, rack the pump, pull the trigger. Now, the pump-action shotgun is the only one of those weapons that is used for home defense these days. It just is. Some people that have arthritis or carpal tunnel or shoulder surgery might not be able to work the pump action shotgun. Also, under pressure, when your brain turns off, you might not be able to, you might forget to do it. I might have the shotgun, pull the trigger, gun goes bang, there's still a bad guy coming, I'm freaking out, I forget to rack the pump. Some guys put a semi-automatic shotgun which fires boom, 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 boom. That's their choice, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Lever action rifle. This is a lever action rifle. It was invented, obviously, before the semi-automatic rifle. This rifle was the weapon of choice back in the day. Police carried them. Armed citizens carried them. Fire the gun, rack the lever. Fire the gun, rack the lever. Fire the gun, rack the lever. Once again, most people might forget to rack the lever under pressure. People with arthritis or surgery might not be able to, especially under pressure. This is the bolt action weapon. Commonly used by hunters today. Used by police snipers, used by military snipers, used by competition shooters. They're still in effect. They're not used for home defense. The bolt action rifle, I have to aim, fire, move my hand, come up, move the bolt up, move the bolt back, extract the empty casing, charge the bolt, inserting a new casing, put the bolt down, bang, fire again. That takes about 1.5 seconds. Here's the problem. The average person runs 7 feet per second. So if I have a bad guy in my home attacking me and I fire a bolt action rifle at him, maybe I'll get lucky and the one shot will tell him I better get out of here. Or what if I hit him, knock him down, and there's an accomplice behind him? I have to do this, and I also have to remember to do it. I might forget. Also, people with one arm, someone that has one arm. I don't want to pick on people that are handicapped. There are people that are handicapped because they got hurt defending our country. Okay, but people that are handicapped cannot work these weapons under pressure. You just can't. Okay, some able-bodied people can't work these weapons under pressure. You have to have a semi-automatic weapon. That way you can just go bang, 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 bang. One pull the trigger equals one bullet fired. Okay? Now, disadvantaging the homeowner is not going to work. Because the bad guy is going to have whatever weapon he wants anyway. So what you're saying is basically, if we take semi-automatic weapons away from law-abiding citizens, if we give law-abiding citizens a disadvantage against a criminal, crime will stop. Once again, you're wrong. In addition to you being wrong, if you want to gamble with your own life to prove yourself wrong, go right ahead. You're not going to gamble with my life to prove yourself wrong. You're not going to gamble with the lives of my family. Okay? I should not be forced to gamble with my life because you want to prove a theory that I already know is wrong. I can save you the trouble right now. You're wrong. Criminals get what they want to get anyway. They do. Ask any border agent. Ask any Coast Guardsman. Ask any police officer. The criminal gets the drugs anyway. Cocaine's illegal, but I can still get it because people don't care about the law. And to think that people are going to care about the law and gamble with your life about it is not going to happen, my friends. It's not going to happen. Let me check my time again. Okay, I'm way under. Okay. Okay. The last segment of this video, this is the stupidest of all the laws. This law, which endangers people, which I don't know what this person was thinking when they thought about this law, but it was so stupid that no one has even considered it. All it was a garbage statement that someone made, and no one is going to consider it. National Gun Owners Database. We have national sex offender databases, right? You can go online, look up a sex offender, get their name, their address, their picture, and their criminal record. What did they do and when did they do it? Child molestation, sexual assault, rape, sodomy, possession of child pornography. And you'd be surprised who's on that list, by the way. Okay? Someone wanted to have a national database of gun owners, which would mean that you have a public website funded by our tax dollars, obviously, where someone could go online, look up a gun owner, and get the gun owner's name, the gun owner's address, and every single solitary firearm that gun owner owns. You done breathing that in for a minute? Why is that bad? Simple. Some lunatic anti-gun fanatic, and believe me, we had an incident a couple of months ago on YouTube where we had a couple of really stupid, really crazy anti-gun fanatics bothering us on YouTube because we show guns in our videos. We blocked that idiot, and I think he's gone now, but whatever. But there are ultra fanatical lunatic idiots that will come outside my home and protest because I own a gun. They won't hurt me, hopefully, but they'll bother me. They'll say there was signs saying there's a dangerous, evil gun owner in there, and it will infringe on my right to be in peace, have peace and quiet. Another aspect of it. A criminal would look up my name and would know that I have 2 handguns, one in .40 caliber, one in .45 caliber, and I will eventually buy more. But, so the good news is, he would probably not want to come along home because he knows I have a gun to defend myself with. Here's the bad news. A criminal that needs guns to do illegal things with, like sell them on the street, that criminal could go into the national database of gun owners, look up a gun owner, stalk them, wait for them to go on vacation, come into their house, and take their arsenal. Let me check my time. Okay, I'm good. So now you've armed the criminals, because the criminals can wait for me to go on vacation, come to my home, and take my weapons. Also, last I checked, raping people wasn't protected by the Constitution. Buying a gun was. So I understand why you want to have a sex offender registered, but why a gun offender? Do you think that gangbangers and drug dealers are actually going to register their guns? Then, please. Ugh, morons. I had an idea. I had an idea for a national politician registry, where I could go online, I could look for a politician's name, and I could get a printout of their name, their address, the ethics report, which will show every single time they were investigated by the ethics committee for violations, a criminal record which will show if that politician was ever arrested, and an IRS record to show how much money that politician owed to the IRS. And every single politician in the country will be registered, and any citizen will be able to look at how many times they were investigated by the ethics committee and how much money they owe the IRS. I think my law is good. Okay, this segment is over. Thank you.